you don't care to just state your name.
I'm Deputy Officer McGinnis. I've been with the Sheriff's Office about 5 years now. I started out as a reserve. It's honestly, the way the pay's going, it's to the point where I'm actually looking for other jobs. And I'm not the only one. There's multiple people on my shift that is considering the same thing. I love working for the county I live in, but it's to the point where I'm fixing to have to go to a different county just to pay my bills. I'm living from check to check. You said earlier, 2 to 3 year officer. I'm 4 years and I'm bringing 804. I'm fixing to cut my medical insurance just so I can keep my bills paid. I'm rotating bills just to try to keep up. Just a little something to think about.
You're about to cut your health insurance so that you can pay your bills.
Yes.
So and I'm gonna ask a personal question. Do you have a plan for if you get sick? Because you're kind of young right now.
I don't. And I've been having health problems that was related to the job and stuff too. So, but that's something I'm gonna have to cut back on.
So you're literally going to cut your health insurance so you can pay your bills.
Yes. I'm actually moved back in with my parents, just still trying to make it leave. I'm still struggling with it.
I want to tell you, as your commissioner, I appreciate the work you do. Because I know that being in that jail, and I was told that there was a pretty major incident the other night that you guys have to deal with. I don't know if you're a part of that, but
I was.
For $804 a month, I don't want to go fight convicts. Or $804 a paycheck rather, because I know you get paid twice a month. But even still, for $1,600 a month, I don't want to go fight convicts. So you're more of a man than I am, and I appreciate you.
Took on training, everything. I've trained a lot of COs up there now. Actually, the other one that's fixing to talk, I trained him. So it's to the point where I'm gonna have to give it up. I hate to, because they're my family. They treat me all like family. That's the main reason why I've stayed as long as I have. Does anybody have any questions for me or anything?
I'm sorry, I missed your name.
Austin McGinnis.
Austin McGinnis?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Deputy McGinnis is also our seasoned officer on the floor, and as you heard, that he's only got 5 years of experience.
So he's your most veteran officer.
So, without rank, so, yes. So am I right on that, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I've actually seen a lot of the sergeants and corporals get promoted into the positions.
Thank you, Officer McGinnis. We appreciate you.
Sir, in the minutes, 2020, that second down, turn it over to the captain of the budget committee.
Okay, and Nancy Barker entered the meeting too. Ms. Barker, I didn't see you come in. Do you know what time you come in? No, for the record, just right after our roll call. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see. Go ahead.
Good morning, I'm Deputy Davis. I work as a correction officer at the jail. I've been there since November 1st of last year. I'm prior service, I was kind of in a similar situation as Deputy McGinnis. I'm lucky in the way that I have TRICARE. From where I was in the military, I can go to the VA. I can't afford the insurance, and it's put a lot of officers in the same position. I've spoke to some last night. They're having to either get rid of their insurance or go to other jobs. They can't afford it and between that and the pay, with what we have to deal with, that incident from the other night, I was part of that incident as well. We had an officer that was covered in blood and the inmate ended up having hepatitis C. You have to go get tested. It's kind of a regular thing. There's going to be fights there. You have people coming in that are high on drugs, and it's like a revolving door that just keep coming. For the pay, it's really hard, I know, with y'all's budget and everything, but competing with other departments, that's where everyone's going. They're getting trained here, and they're going to a different department if they even stay in the same field, because almost all the departments are underpaid compared to what you're having to deal with, in my personal opinion. I had to get rid of, coming from this job, I wanted to stay doing public service, and I ended up getting rid of my vehicle. I used the leftover cash from that to pay for another vehicle, that way I didn't have a payment, because I couldn't afford to stay work at the sheriff's department with any of the vehicles we had. It's kind of a taxing job, mentally and physically. A lot of people, they can't justify having to go through some of the stuff we have to deal with for the pay rate on that, especially with that insurance.
Insurance is gonna go up, I believe it's supposed to go up 8%.
It is. And then there's a lot of us, currently I have 2 incomes. So we have my wife's income, but she's about to have to stop working. She's pregnant, she's giving birth in September. So going from 2 incomes to 1 income, I'm scraping the bottom when it comes to being able to stay here. And it really sucks, because I love working for the community, I love working for the sheriff's department. The leadership that we have there is one of the big reasons some of us try to stay, because it's really good compared to some other places that I've worked. I haven't found really a whole lot of supervisors that fight the way that they do for everything that we have or what we can get. Overall, like I said, I really love working there, but it would really be unfortunate trying to go to a different department or completely changing fields just because we can't sustain. Just even gas has gone up, food's gone up. So I used to be able to go and fill up my vehicle and get food under $350, $400 a paycheck. I can't do that anymore. So, does anybody have any questions?
Congratulations on being a new dad.
Thank you.
July 1st, he hired one hired to come back in to replace that. They have declined that position the way I'm understanding. And I think Lieutenant Yang, there's still 7 positions down.
And one fixing to probably go to Kingsport.
So, that's right.
Because
There'll be
he's
8 positions
making money.
down. We're still in crisis mode. I know the sheriff is, he's fought. And I know me and Mr. Buchanan has, spent a lot of time together, probably more on this budget than we ever have. I'm worried about Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and also about safety and security of these officers. They mean a lot to me, and I want to do something for them, y'all. I'm tired of losing people. I'm tired of losing people for the sheriff, because it puts more stress on him. And of course, my job is to protect him, and hopefully I'll do the best I can for it. But my sheriff is struggling. My sheriff needs help for his employees.
I just wish the people that complain about potential tax increases and that kind of thing, and tell us we need to cut expenses, could be here to hear this kind of thing. You know, the average person, the only thing they see is, well, they're not cutting expenses, they need to cut more expenses. Can't raise taxes, we need to cut expenses, and then we can't cut expenses and keep these guys safe.
Well, I know,
Well, it depends, and they're not gonna be able to keep the community safe if
Right.
they're not able to take care of themselves.
Exactly.
And do the, I'm with you, I get all the time, don't raise taxes, but raise services, so we're gonna have to
Yeah.
decide.
Oh, I talked to somebody the other
Services-
day that moved here from Maryland, and common question I ask is, why here, you know? But then, what do you think about the tax rate? And the first thing they say is, well, it's way less than what we were paying, but don't raise it. Don't raise it any, because, you know, that's why we, well, look back at, if they look back at what they were paying and receiving in services versus the services they're receiving here for way less, there's just no argument there, but